Okay? Now, as I was saying, the estrogen within her levels, it caused it a chemical imbalance. The chemical imbalance was not balanced because of the point that she needed more prostrogen, which is stamina. That is the gene that is predominantly inside of the male. Okay? The estrogen cannot live alone, because if it did, it would be too strong, and it would predominantly end up to the point where it destroyed all of her organs inside of her body. So what she needed is a chemical imbalance. Okay? And this is the only virgin birth that ever happened. Jesus was not a virgin birth. Okay? This is the first and only virgin birth that ever happened. Cleopatra Nijikabuku had a virgin birth. She had a virgin birth of 2 twins. One name was Nun. The other was named Nunetiali. Nun and Nunetiali. Okay? Nun was actually Noah within the Bible. Now, when it talks about Noah in the Bible, it said that it built a civilization. Okay? When he built the ark, he was building a civilization, which was the first civilization that ever happened on earth, which is called the Nikaoa civilization. Alright? Now, as Nun got up into age, he intercoursed with Cleopatra Nijikabuku. As he intercoursed with Cleopatra Nijikabuku, they gave birth to Kemet. Kemet is K-E-M-E-T. Kemet, excuse me. Kemet is the original name of Egypt. Okay? They gave birth to Kemet. Alright? Now, with that forming, okay, Nunetiali waited until Kemet got up into age, and Nunetiali intercourse with Kemet, which is the original name of Egypt. And Kemet and Nunetiali gave birth to Libya. Back then it was Lumnaya. Lumnaya, which is Libya today. They gave birth to Libya and Kushia. Kush is short for Kushieta. Okay? Kush is the original Ethiopia that you see today. Okay? And that is to break down the origination of the black woman with the black queen. She is not a womb man. She is a woman. No, she is a queen, a goddess, a earth, a mistress. Okay? Now, okay, you see a lot of Freemasons. You see a lot of Freemasons have, especially 33rd degree. Okay? I got mine in establishment of Masonry, which is not Freemasonry. I got my square and compass as soon as I hit the international status, which is the 1st degree. My degree now is in the 26th degree, which I've already passed from 1st to the 33rd degree already. And now I'm repeating it the 2nd time. So as I'm repeating it the 1st time, I already passed the 33rd degree of the 1st cipher, which is the 360th cipher. Okay? Now the 2nd time, I'm not there to the 33rd degree yet, but I'm at the 26th degree. Okay. Now these degrees that come, the degrees are there to monitor on your knowledge. The more knowledge that you have, the more degree, the more rank that you have. Okay. Now, the square and the compass. A lot of Freemasons will tell you it's square and compass. Okay. The bottom of the square and the compass is really a square and a ruler if you really take a look at it. The ruler is the woman, which is the spiritual self, because she came as which is the physical self. Okay? If you take a ruler, okay, the ruler is in a 90-degree angle. You can trace in the ruler. If you take the ruler and you turn it each side, it builds a spectrum of the square. The square represents the physical self, because the woman, which is the ruler and the first one on this earth, was the one that named the animals, the one that named the sky, the one that named everything on earth, which Adam took that place. Okay? All right? Now, that represents the woman. The compass that you see. If you take a compass, you can only trace it. You can only trace it into a circle, which means the spiritual self, because the first man came as a spiritual, and as men, our purpose on earth is to protect our women. The reason why we are to protect our women is because as Noon intercourse with Cleopatra Nijikabuku, which was the first woman on earth, gave her that protection and sustained her life. When he was born, it didn't take for him to fertilize and ejaculate in her. Okay? It took for him to be born. As long as a male child is born, a woman has those genes as more estrogen. And a woman and a man that you see today, they have a balance of estrogen and estrogen. Okay? As male, we have estrogen and progesterone. We have a balance. But we have more estrogen, which is testosterone, more than we have estrogen. If you take an amount of estrogen and shoot it inside of a man, he will become feminine, because estrogen is a feminine gene. Okay? But we have more estrogen. We have more testosterone and progesterone more than we have estrogen. And that's why you have a lot of men that act feminine and act like females, or turn to homosexuality, because it's not a homosexuality spirit. What it is, it's a chemical imbalance. That male has more estrogen than he has progesterone. And the chemical imbalance comes within the drugs of the FDA that they give our children, which dysfunctionalize our organs and our chemical imbalance. Okay? Now, the woman, she has more estrogen than she has progesterone. And us as the man, we are here to protect our woman. As Noon protected Nijikabuku to preserve and live a lot longer by inducing and ejaculating by birth, natural birth, the estrogen in her to keep the estrogen balance. So that is our duty, to protect the woman, to actually that was Noon's mission, to protect her and save her from denunciation. Okay? That is our mission. That's why we grow up with the mentality to protect our women. Okay? Now, back to the square and compass. It's good? Okay. Now, you cannot, if you look at the square and the compass, you cannot form a square without the physical and the spiritual, which is the man and the woman. You cannot form a square And the reason why Freemasons call it square and compass